This is the video for the Algebra and Functions ACT review. The first problem says which of the following mathematical expressions is equivalent to the verbal expression a number c squared. So starting here, c squared would look like this. And then the next thing it says is a sign for equals. So if you look at your answers right away, A and B are no longer options. 52 more than. So 52 more than means I'm adding 52. And it says the product of C and 11. So product means multiply. So that's 11 times C. And so if you look through your answers, that would be choice E. The second example says, if 9 plus 5x equals 39, then 4x equals question mark. So first thing I want to do is solve 9 plus 5x equals 39. So I would subtract 9 from both sides. I get 5x equals 30. I divide both sides by 5. X equals 6. So 4x equals what? So 4 times 6 gets me 24. J. This example says if A equals 4, B equals 3, and C equals -7, then what is the value of quantity B plus C times the quantity A plus B minus C? So we are just plugging in these values. So anywhere I see an A, I'm going to replace it with a 4. Anywhere I see a B, I'm replacing with a 3. Anywhere I see a C, I'm replacing with -7. So what that would look like is 3 plus -7, 4 plus 3 minus -7. And then I'm just going to type this directly into the calculator exactly how I wrote it, and I get -56. This example says, for what value of x is the equation x plus 5 times x minus 4 equals 4 true? This is something to note on the ACT. So if you look, these answers are in order from largest to smallest. And so the best thing to do is start right in the middle. So I'm going to start by plugging in 8 and seeing what happens. And then I'm just going to type this into the calculator and see if I get 4 equals 4. And so I get 28. And so what this tells me is plugging in 8 got me an answer that was way too big. So I don't want to use anything bigger than 8. So I know that these 3 are all immediately wrong. And now I've just cut my answer options in half. So the next one that I'm going to try is 4. And so if I plug in 4 for x, will I get 4? And when I do that, I do get 4, so the answer is J. This next example says the expression 9ab minus 2a times the quantity 4a plus 5b is equivalent to. And so I'm basically just simplifying this. So I'm going to distribute this -2a. So out in front, I have 9ab. I have -2a times 4a. So -2 times 4 gets me -8. A times a is a squared. -2 times +5 is -10. A times b is ab. I have one pair of like terms, so remember like terms have to have the exact same variables. So 9ab minus 10ab is -1ab. And so if I kind of match up my answers, this is the best choice because we don't really have to write -1 out in front. We could just write it as -ab. This is similar to one we've already done. So it says, what is the value of the expression quantity b minus a squared when a equals -1 and b equals 6? So I'm just going to plug these in and type it into a calculator. And I should get 49. Again, another example where they give me an A and a B, and they want me to just plug these in. So I'm taking this negative 5x, putting it where A is. Then I have a minus. I'm taking this 3y minus x and putting it where B is. Remember, it's important to put this in parentheses when you plug it in, because now I have to distribute this negative 1 that's out in front. And then again, I can combine my like terms, so I have these x's that can be combined. So I have negative 5x plus x, that's negative 4x, and then minus 3y. And so the best answer choice is C. When written in symbols, the square of the sum of A and B is represented as which of the following? So I see sum of A and B, so that means add them together. And it says the square of that. So I have to put it in parentheses. Square means squared, so F. This example says, for the function f of x equals 5x squared minus 7x, what is the value of f of negative 3? This just is a fancy way to say, take this negative 3, plug it in anywhere you see an x. Remember, when you plug it in, you want to put it in parentheses, and then you're just typing it into your calculator exactly as you see it. And you should get 66. For this example, you are just distributing and then combining like terms. So here I technically have a negative 1, so I need to distribute that into this. So I'm going to rewrite my first part of the equation. Then when I get to the second part, negative 1 times 5x is negative 5x. Negative 1 times negative 4y is positive 4y. Negative 1 times positive 6z is negative 6z. Then you can start combining like terms. So I have x minus 5x. So that's negative 4x. I have negative 2y plus 4y. That's positive 2y. I have positive 3z minus 6z. That's negative 3z. So I would choose K. So the final example says, if 3x squared plus 9x equals 84, what are possible values for x? When looking at your answer options, I see negative 7 and 3 different answers. So I'm going to start with that to see if that's an answer option, because if not, that's going to eliminate a lot of our choices. So you're just going to plug those in and see if it equals 84 when you type it into the calculator. When I type it in, I do get 84. So I just eliminated F and K as choices. The next one I'm just going to try 4 since it comes next. So I'm going to plug in 4 everywhere I see an X and see if it equals 84. And it does equal 84. So my answer should be G.